Good evening, everyone. We'll start in 2 minutes. Good evening, everyone. We'll start in 2 minutes. If you are able to see my screen, you can put yes in the chat box. We'll be starting with the charts, which in the last session we were not able to complete. So that we'll complete first. That is the waterfall chart. And the second one is the funnel chart. So a little bit of formatting part, which due to technical error was not able to complete that. So we'll do that first. So we have the small data over here and we want to create a waterfall chart with this data. So first step is we'll copy this data. We have this years in the first column and the second column is the sales amount, what we have. We're going to select this data, Control C to copy this. Then we go to insert and then we select charts. We'll get this insert chart box. Then we're going to select the waterfall chart from the left side. And this is the waterfall chart. We click on OK. As we click OK, we get the default chart, which is there inside this. And you'll select the cell A1, right click on this and select match destination formatting. As you do that, the data gets pasted over there, but there is certain extra data which is there here, row number 6 onwards. So you can select these rows and right click on it and delete. So we have only the data which is required in this chart. After this, close this box. Now, as you see this chart, there are just a little bit of editing required here. So that we are going to do. Here we see 2018 as the first value, but our actual data shows the data starts from 2007. So that is a little bit of editing what we required here. So we click here onto the chart and then go to select data. As you click on select data, you'll get this box over here. And you will also get this box. And here you will see that here there is a section called legend entries. We'll click on this and we are going to select the edit data option. As you select that, you will see in this the cell A1 and then you see the cell B1, which is showing only one cell selected, which is in the series name. Now in the updates, there is a little change here what Microsoft PowerPoint shows. So what we require is a series name to be selected. That is a compulsory thing what we need to select. So we will add a row here at the top. Right click on this. So since I'm clicking on this, this particular field is not allowing me to click on this. I'll just close this. And first, I'll just come here and click inside this part. Also, let's click first this and then only click on this part. And then you will be able to right click on this and insert. So we are adding a row inside here. And then this is the first blank cell. We'll just put a title here as amount. After that, we'll just close this box and re-click on the select data. So we'll get the both boxes together one more time, and we come here and then select this number which is showing here in the legend entries. After that, I click on edit, and I'll get this box of edit series where I'm going to select the cell here which is having the amount. After that, in the series value option, we are going to remove all this and reselect the amounts that is from the 2017. So we select all the amounts one more time and then click OK. Once you do that, your work is done. Just click OK and finally close this box. Now, this is what we see here. So we will see here the values are added which were missing. Now you can see there is one gray value which is there that we need to correct it. So we click on this bar here. As you click the first time, you will see that all the bars are selected. So we'll click one more time on that gray bar. So only that bar is selected. Then right click on this and we select on clear total. As we do that, that gray bar becomes blue. Then I click on the last bar which is there. That's my final total value. And right click on it and select set as total. That's the final total amount which comes once we add all these values. So the first value, which is 2018 value, then you have the 19 value, but if you look at this, this is not correct. The first value is 2017. So I need to edit this. So to edit that, we go back to the select data, and here we are going to select the years. So we click on the edit bar here, and at the top you will see the 217 is missing. So we are going to select that and then close this box. Click OK. Click OK here and close this box. So now you will see the first year is 2017, second 2018, 19, 20, and the final is total. Now this is the entire waterfall chart which shows the cumulative values. So 3748 plus 4407, then 1107, so on, it adds up, and the final total comes as 10,490. So that's way you can also display the values which are there from the start point till the end point, that how it goes. So this is the first waterfall chart. There is one more waterfall chart we are going to create wherein we will show the values which are positive and negative. That is the cash flow of the values. So we click on the next slide, and this is the data what we are going to use, where we see opening value, and then month wise you have negative and positive values. Negative values are the outflow of cash and positive value are the inflow of the cash. And finally, after calculating all things, you get the closing value. We are going to select the entire data, copy this, Control C. Then we go to insert and we select chart. In the chart section, we select waterfall. Once we select this, then we click OK. Once we do that, we'll get this box, and we are going to select the cell A2 and right click on it and select match destination formatting. And once we have done that, you can just scroll and also see that how the values have been pasted. Once that is done, we just close this box. Here also we see that a lot of fluctuation there. there are multiple gray bars which are there. So first we will edit and we'll adjust that. And also if you look at the x-axis where you have the opening value, and then as you go at the end, you see only last month is July. We don't see the other months which are after July. So we have to adjust that as well. So we click on the outline of the chart and then click on select data. You'll get these boxes here. You see this, the actual selection, that dotted line which is there, it is still July only. The rest of the months, they are not selected. So here we are going to select this values. There is one more method. What we can do is for the selection of the entire is, rather than editing one by one from legend entries and the horizontal category axes, the chart data range, what you see there, also you can click remove everything from there, and then you can select the entire range which is there here. So if you select this entire range, that can also be done. And on the right side, we can just check till where the values are there. So that is also one way we can do. So just click OK and close this box. You can see all the values from opening till the closing are there. So in that one step, we can do the entire stuff. In the earlier one, where we first pasted the data and then we did multiple times the editing of the data, selecting it so that we get the correct values. So here we can do at once the entire thing and we get the entire values correctly in here. There are a few more formattings to be done here for setting this as the total. So the first bar which is there, the opening bar, we click first time. So all bars are selected. We click one more time here. So only that first bar will be selected. We right click on this and select set as total. And then we click on the last bar, right click, and we select set as total. So as we do this, you can see that the entire waterfall chart is ready. So the gray bars are the opening and the closing values. They are the totals. And as we go further, you will see the opening value, whatever it is, like 1,10,000 is the value. In that, this value, which is minus 15,000, it is in the orange colors, all the negative values, and blue color are all the positive values. So from the opening value, 15,000 gets deducted. Then the next value is a positive value. So whatever is the balance amount, on that the next value gets added, which is 25,000. So whatever new value comes, that will be here as well. So you're going to see that how these waterfall charts can be very effectively used when you have the inflow and outflow of money. So that is what you can do. So this is the second chart what we have done. The next thing what we are going to do is we are going to create the funnel chart. So we'll go to the next slide. We have this data here. We're going to select this, copy it, Control C, then go to insert, selecting the chart. In the charts, we're going to select the funnel chart and click OK. So here also we get the funnel chart ready, and we close this box. Before that, we need to paste the values here. So we just select the cell here. So I'm going to select the cell A2, right click on this and select paste match destination formatting. So my data will be pasted here, and then click on close. Now, when I've pasted this data, you will see that there is a missing values which are there, which we need to work on, and there is that editing is required. So we'll just go back at the select data option, and here we'll just move this up. We'll increase the worksheet area and we'll also see this. So we'll do the same step what we did in the earlier chart by using this chart data range field, and we can select the range from here. So you can see we have this stage and amount which is there, which is an additional thing what we see here. So we can also do one more stuff here, just removing that part, which is an additional part to us. So we select this and we select this range, this much part which is there, which is required, and click OK. And I close this box. So now you will see the first part is the prospects. Then you have the qualified prospects, need analysis, price quotes, negotiations, and closed values. And if you want to see the numbers over this, you can click on the chart elements and you can click on data labels. So the values of the chart will get seen here. So this is the funnel chart, what we have created, very simple steps and very effective way to showcase this kind of process steps which are there. And this is the entire process of the sales. This we can also call it as a sales funnel. We can rename this title. So this is our sales funnel. So everyone try this thing what we have done. Take 2 minutes to this and then we'll do the next step. Nitin, percentage where you want to see? In which chart you want to see the percentage? Is it pie chart? In funnel chart, we will not have percentage. These are the direct values what we have. So in funnel chart, we don't showcase any percentages. These are the actual absolute values what we see. So here, this funnel chart, what it depicts is that you have the first level, which is prospects, where a salesperson, he identifies the prospects for your customers. So total 500 prospects list the salesperson will have. From that 500, he will look for the qualified prospects where we can actually sell the services or the products. Then out of that 425, the person will do the need analysis for the prospective customers. So that is the qualified prospects on which he will check, okay, out of 425, there are 200 prospective customers where the need of the service or the product is required. So that will filter down to 200. Then out of that 200, how many of are interested to know more about the product or they are asking for the price quotes? So that comes to 150. And from that 150, how many are coming into the negotiation part? So how many of the customers are interested in the further discussion that we do? So that comes to the 100. And the last part, out of the 100, how many come near to the close of sales? So that's 90. So that way this funnel chart can be used in the sales funnel process what we have. Similar to that, you can also choose the other types of processes which will have these kind of numbers. So in the waterfall chart, we have the inflow and outflow of money, where you have the opening value and you have the inflow and outflow of money, where orange bars are for the negative values and blue bars are for the positive values. So here, as the values come in and out, you are presenting that in a visual format with the help of waterfall chart, wherein the first value, the opening value, which is 1,10,000, in that there is next month, the first month, which is the Jan month. From that month, the value 15,000 is deducted. So out of 110, 15 is deducted. And so as you move ahead, whatever balance comes in that, the next amount, that is the blue bar, 25,000, that is added. So whatever balance comes in each month, the next bar, whatever positive or negative, that gets addition or subtraction of that, and that goes on and on for each month, and finally you get the final total, that is the closing total, as 1,68,000. That entire ups and downs, the inflow and outflow of money, which creates this visual, is called the waterfall chart. So this is how you can utilize this chart, very, very useful chart to show the inflow and outflow of money. So I'm going to add one more slide. One more question was there, that how to add text in the slide. So you can go to insert, and in the insert you have the text box option. You can choose the text box and you can draw the text box. In this, you can write the text. Very easily, you can add the text using the text box. So we have seen how the different kinds of objects can be added. And now we're going to come up and learn about the animations, that how to create animations. In the previous session, we had also learned about applying transitions. So that was applying onto entire slide which was there. And animations, now we are going to start with, where we are going to apply the animations to each object which we have onto the slide. So that we are going to see, as well as we are going to look at how to create something with the animation, which is very, very interesting and effective way of presentation with the help of animations. So we're going to work on that. Let's come to a presentation. I'll add a new file here. And I'm going to choose a ready-made presentation so that we can add the animations on that and see how different animations can be worked with. So here, let's go to business and we select the presentation. Let's select presentation, this one, and click on create. So we have this presentation here. It has different slides, title slide, content, section-wise slides. It has content slide as well. It has content with graph. So different slides we have, and we're going to apply the animations onto this. So on the first slide, which is the title slide, I can just apply the basic transition. So we click on the transition and we'll just apply the split. So that's the transition what I have applied. Now I come to the next slide, which is the content. And in here I have the title, that is the content slide, where I want to give an animation on this. So clicking the text box and then click on animations. In here, animations, when you are working with, if you click on this more button, you will see different types of animation here. So we have entrance animation, that is the commonly used animations. Then you have emphasis animation, and then you have exit animation. That's the third type of animation. And the fourth one is the motion path animation. So we'll look at all of these, how to use them. So let's look at the first one about the entrance animation. So I click on the content slide and then click on the fade. And then I have the another text box here. On that, I'm going to apply another animation. Let's click on split. And then we go to the next slide here. This is the section divider slide. So I will not do much on that. I'll just apply a transition to this. So let's apply a transition. And then select the next one, which is having the content. So first I'll click on the to content slide title, which is there, and go to animations. And here we are going to select the next one, which let's say vibe. And when you are selecting the animation, you also get in some of the animations the effect options. So in the effect options, you can just click and you can change the direction of that animation which is there. So right now it was from bottom, you can do it from left, from right, from top. Let's make it from left. So it will go like this. From the left side, it will start the animation. So as you go on putting the animation, you will also see here that numbering will come, and it's easy for you to identify that if there are multiple objects on slide, then you can know that which object is going to come first and which object is going to come next. So we have selected that. Now we click on this one, paragraph title 1, and then I give the option as, let's say, float in, and I'll change the direction of this. I'll make it float down. Same way, then we select the next below the para title 1, and we're going to select the next one, which is, let's say, random bars. And we select the next title here. Just we are clicking and we are going to just apply the animations. So float and float from the down. And then we select this one and we click on random bars. So what happens here is you can see the numberings which are there. So these are going to come one by one as I click, and they're going to come that way. But here we will also look at if I want that once the paragraph title 1 has appeared, after that when I click, all these other points which are there, they should come automatically. Similar to that, after the points, when I click, the paragraph 2 title should appear. And when I click the next time, all these points should come all at once. So to do and manage the view of each of the line of text here, we need to manage this with the help of animation pane. So what we do is, in the animations, you have the animation pane here. So click on animation pane. On the right side, you will see all the animations what we have applied in this presentation. The entire list will be shown here. So we are right now on the slide 4, and here we can see, as you click inside this, you will see that slide animation which is there, that's number 2, which it will show. So for each slide, this numbering would be different. For every slide, you will see the numbering will start with 1. So it becomes easier. Whichever slide you select, the animation pane will show for that details. So once you select this values, so if the animation bar is not visible, So let's say if I click outside this, see nothing is visible right now. All are in gray because the object is not selected. So when you select an object, then only the animation ribbon, all these animation effects will be active. If nothing is selected on your slide, then this will not show you anything. So it has to be selecting any object here, either a text box or a image or a shape, then only you are able to see the options of animation is activated. Okay, so I have selected this paragraph 1 title and I want to manage this, and it should come automatically after the main title which is there. So what I'm going to do here is I also want the main title to come automatically. So first click on the first here and the small drop down arrow which is there. On that, when I click, you will see it is showing start on click. So till the time I don't click, it is not going to start the animation. So I'm going to select it, start with previous. That is, as the slide appears in the slideshow, it should start the content. Or I can also choose start after previous. Once the entire slide is visible on the screen, after that, the title should come. So we select after previous. You can see now it has become 0. And then the next one is the paragraph 1 title, which is there. So here also I'm going to select after previous. I want that to become automatically. And once that is done, the first line which is there, that all points which are there, they should come on the click. So it will be there. And as you click on that double arrow, you will see the other points are still there. So if I click on the next point, which is there, you can see that on each of the points you have the arrows. So if you want, you can keep it on click. If you want, you can keep it automatically by doing that. So what we'll do is, except the first point, the next point which are there, we'll keep it as after previous. So I'm just going to click here on the arrow and make it as after previous. Here also I'll click and make it as after previous. And here also I'll click and make it as after previous. So we have set it according to that. First, when I click it, after that, all the animations will come as after previous. In the para 2, what we'll do here, it will be on the click once all is appeared. And the next part, which is the content of that point, we want all to come as automatically once the para 2 line title comes. So I'm going to select this main arrow which is there and say after previous. So as I do that, the entire sequence will come according to that after previous. So all will come one by one. So we have done this. Let's do one more. We go to the next slide and we'll apply transition on this. Let's apply ripple. And the next slide, here we have the text as well as we have the chart. So I'm going to click on the chart title and give this an animation. And I'm going to select the next one. That is the chart. So title is also a text, so we can just click on it and give the animation to this. Now selecting the chart, and let's give the simple one, fade. So we applied this to all of them. Slide 2 is just the normal text. So we click on this and you have this content slide. We just selected that and applied the fade animation. And the next one here, I have the split animation. So we have added very basic two simple animations here. Now we have added few of the animations on different slides. Let's have a look by doing the slideshow. On the keyboard, you can also press F5 key to start the slideshow, or you can also on the bottom you have the slideshow button. But this button, when you click, it will start from whichever slide is displayed right now. And if you click F5 on the keyboard, which is the function key at the top, if you click on that, it will start the presentation from the start. So this is the first slide, which is having the transition. I click to the next. Now, other things are seen here. Till the time I don't click, I'll not see the other content here. So as I click here, you can see content slide has come. Then as I click, the next animation comes. As I click, the next slide appears with the transition. Now as I click, the first time the two content slide title came and the paragraph one came, because I had set accordingly that animation. Now as I click one more, you will see all the points coming automatically. Till the time I don't click, the para 2 title is not going to come. So as I click, the para 2 title comes and the rest of the points also come with that. Now let's go to the next slide. You can see that's the transition effect. Now we see the next one. Here nothing is visible right now. Till the time I don't click, nothing is going to come. So as I click, you can see the chart slide comes. Then you can see the paragraph title comes. As I click, the next text comes. So on this slide, I put all on click. As I go on clicking, it will appear the text. Till that time, it is not going to come. So these all options, what we are doing it on click or automatic, that is after previous, it will be totally dependent on the presenter, that how he or she wants to actually do the presentation, how you want to control the entire slides which are coming in, which slide, when to show, which object, when to slow, that would be totally on your control. So accordingly, you have to apply the animations onto each slide. So everyone try this till here. And if you have any questions related to this, you can ask me, and then we'll see more options related to this. So everyone take few minutes and try on your system all of these. Pallavi, which slide you are saying? The slide number 6, which is having the chart, how to apply animation. You want to see that? Okay. So we'll do this one more time. I'll just remove all the animations. So if you want to remove the animations from a slide, you can just select that animation. So I want to remove the animation from the chart. So I'll select that and right click on it, and you can select remove. Right click and say remove. So it removes the animation. The rest all animations are as it is. I'll just click on this chart title here and then click on insert animations. No, click on animations and then select from this the animation. So we select, let's say, bounce. So we have this bouncing text here. Let's select the chart, click on the outline of the chart, and then click on the animation you want. So let's select an animation. Let's select zoom. So we get the animation applied. Now on the chart, the animation what we have applied, it is showing me the entire chart like it's an image which is there. But if you see the entire chart which is there, it has multiple parts to it. And if I want to make it more effective about the animation of the chart, then I can click on the small arrow in the animation pane, and then I can go in the effect options. In the effect options, here you will see there is a separate tab called chart animation. So when you click on that, here you can select, right now it is as one object. If you click by series, and then let's click on OK, you can see how it is coming. That's one way it will come. Let's look at the second one, effect options. Go to chart animation. Now we'll click and select by category and click OK. We'll see one by one the bars are going to come. Now these are all on clicks. If I'm expecting to explain things related to each bar, then I'm going to keep it on click. But if you don't want to keep them on click, then you can keep the first option of chart animation, which was the entire chart which is going to come, or you can put it after previous also. So all will come automatically one by one without the click. So we can keep that as well. And let's look at the slideshow of this. So as I click, the main title comes, then you get the paragraph title, then you get the points one by one as I click. So these are all on clicks. And once the last point overs, and as I click, you can see that bouncing text has come and the rest of the things comes automatically because I had keep it as after previous. So that is called animation pane, where I am using the options. So this animation pane, how it comes, that you want to see, I'm just closing it. When you click on an object, you see that your animation tab gets active. And when you are inside the animation tab, on the right side here, you will see at the top, there is animation pane. So when you click on this animation pane, you will see that on the right side, the animation pane comes. Now, this is the place where you can control the animation and make it more effective by using different options available in the animation pane. So till here, everyone try this first. Once you have tried this, different types of animations, what we have, then we are going to see something more interesting on the animation part. So take few minutes and then we go ahead for doing more stuff. So there is a question that this graph, what is there? If we want to edit this graph, can we edit it? Yes, we can edit this graph because the presentation, what I'm using, it's a template. So everything what I have here, like text box, graphs, and other things, I can edit them as well. So when you click on the chart, you get the chart design option. From this, you can go to your edit data option. You can select it and you can see that series is there. If you want to change the values, you can do from here as well. So it is the same thing what we did in the charts. Similar to that, you can do here things to edit the chart also. So simple ways to work with the PowerPoint. You can see how it may get edited. Now after this, we are going to look at the animation stuff and how we are going to create one very interesting animation slide, which will be like interactive slide. So if I am presenting my slide, I can use the interactivity by using the animations. So we are going to look at that, how to create an interactive slide using the animation, as well as by doing this particular exercise, we will also learn different things inside the animation, how to manage the animation, how to work with different options available in the animations. So let's look at that. So I'm going to go to the previous file which I was working on. I'm just going to add that, or you can open up a new file as well. I'm just going to add a new slide here and going to select this text box, remove it. And what I require here is I'm going to create an interactive animation. So step by step, we'll do it. And we're going to create first one shape, which is called an arc. So our this animation, the interactive slide is called as needle animation. So we're going to work with shapes. We're going to work with different objects which are there here using shapes. And we're going to apply animations and create the interactivity. So first we require an arc to create. So we go to insert. In the insert, we go to shapes. And from the shapes, in the lines, we have this option called arc. No, it is in the basic shapes. So we'll select that arc. So in the third row, the last option, you will see arc. So you can click on that and then left click and draw it. So when you draw it, you get a small arc which is there. And what we require is we want to create it as a semicircle curve kind of a thing. So you will see this yellow dot which is in the center. You can just drag it so it becomes like a semicircle. And then you can use the corner of this bounding box and left click and drag it to increase the size of the arc. We want to touch it on the edges, the arc which is there. And then from the center, we are just going to pull it to make it like a proper semicircle kind of shape. So this is the arc what we have. We are just going to move it a little on the inner side. You can use the left arrow key or to move it on the left side. I'm going to make it a little thicker one. So if you want to make the arc thick, you have to go to shape format and you will have the shape outline. So I can also change the color of this. So let's make it black and we're going to select the shape outline, weight, and we're going to click on the number which is 3 points. We'll put that 3 points. So we have a dark arc line which is here. We can move it a little inside also, little bit. After the arc is created, the second step, we are going to create a needle for this animation. So we're going to select the insert and we're going to select shapes. From the shapes, I'm going to select the isosceles triangle. So if it is in the recent shapes, or you can go to the basic shapes, you can see here the third option, isosceles triangle. You can just select that, and you from the edge of the slide at the top, just left click and draw it and create a thin one. So as you're dragging it downwards, you will see the dotted line will come as you reach in the center. A dotted line will come and you stop there and just release the left click. So you will see that a needle shape is created. I repeat, when you select in the insert and shapes, select from the basic shapes, the isosceles triangle, and then go at the top edge of the slide, left click and draw. As you are drawing it, it should be a little thinner side. And as you come in the center of the slide, a dot line will appear. When the dot line comes, just release the left click and you will see that triangle is created. The next step, what we require is we want to remove the outline of this triangle. So shape outline and we select no outline. So that outline is removed. And here, one more trick we are going to play here is that I want to animate this needle. So it will rotate it from the top on the clockwise direction on this arc which is there. So if I rotate it right now, this single triangle, you can see that it rotates from its center. So the bottom of the triangle which is there, it does not stay there itself. It is also rotating, and this triangle is rotating it from its own center. So we don't want that. It should be at the bottom. The bottom should be there at the same place and it should rotate it. So what we do is then we use the next. We're going to use the next step, which is adding one more triangle, which will help us to create the base for rotation. So what we're going to do is once we select this triangle, just press Ctrl D to duplicate this. We want to duplicate this triangle. So just press Ctrl D. So you will see a duplicate triangle is here. Now, as the copy is visible, you are just going to go to shape format at the top. And on the right side, you will see rotate option. You will click on the rotate option and select flip vertical. Select flip vertical. So entire triangle is flipped and you can just move that and place it exactly at the bottom of the first triangle. Once it is placed exactly at the bottom of first triangle, then you're going to go to the shape format and you're going to select shape fill, and then you will select no fill. So that the triangle becomes invisible, and then you're going to press shift key and click on the first triangle. So both the triangles are selected together and we're going to group them. So go to shape format and click on group, select group. So now this becomes one object. The entire needle becomes one object. Now if I rotate this, you can see that how the rotation is happening of the needle. So that base which is there, it stays there because now we are having two triangles and grouped as one. So since we have grouped them as one, the center of rotation becomes the group which is there. For that, it becomes the center. So that's why this is the step what we do for rotating the needle which is there. Till here, everyone do it. Once you have done till here, just put done in the chat box. Then we'll do the next step. So I'll repeat this step of creating the needle with the rotation. So first we go to insert, then we select shapes, select the isosceles triangle, draw it from the edge, and as you are dragging it down, as you come to the center of the slide, you'll see this dotted line will come. So you'll leave that, left click there, and then after that, you're going to select shape outline and select no outline. We don't require the outline. Once that is done, you are going to create a duplicate of this. So on your keyboard, press Ctrl D. So that triangle duplicate is created. After that, you will go to shape format and select rotate, select flip vertical. So that second copy of triangle is flipped, and you are going to move that and place it exactly below the first triangle. And then you're going to go to shape format, select shape fill, select no fill, so that bottom triangle which is there, it becomes invisible. Then select shift key, press shift key and click on the first triangle. So both the triangles are selected. Then you can go to shape format and click on group, select group option. So now this becomes single same object. Now if you'll see, the entire object is one and the rotate option is here. So as you click and rotate, you can see that it is rotating from its center. So this is what we have done. Next step. After this, we're going to do creating arc is very simple. You have to go to insert. Yes, insert, you have to go and you have to select shapes. And here you have in the basic shapes, the arc option. Select that, draw the arc. You will get a small arc here. The yellow dots which you have, you can just click and drag it so that till the time it becomes the semicircle, you can just do that, dragging of it. You see the yellow dots are there, and then you can leave it and you can just increase the size by stretching this. Very simple steps to create the arc, and you can also stretch it from the center. So as you stretch it, exactly the semicircle view you will get it. So this is the way you can create the arc. Once this is done, the next step, I want to add the shape over here above the needle to hide that bottom of the triangle, that is the needle. So we go to insert and we go to shapes, select the oval shape, and we'll draw it above this. And you can place it here. Once you've placed it, you can change the color of it. We'll change the color of this. And we can give an effect to this, shape effects, and we'll use the preset effects, or you can also use the bevel. Bevel would be a good look. I'll repeat one more time the creation of arc. Very simple step it is. Go to insert, go to shapes, and in these shapes you will see arc. Left click and drag the arc. So normal arc will be created. Then you'll see yellow dot here in the center. Left click and drag it till the time it becomes a half curve. And then you can use the resize options. You can left click and draw it and touch it on both side edge of the slides. Once you have done that, you can just you can just select the center point and drag this. So it will create a semicircle arc, which is there. So this is how we create the arc. So we have added this shape over this needle, simple shape which is there. And the next thing what I want is to create more shape like this and add on the arc. So I'm going to insert one more time, shapes, and select oval and draw it over here. So this is my oval here on the arc. I'll place it here. And I'm going to change the color of this. And effects will apply. We'll apply a bevel. Let's apply this bevel. And also type a text here, 1. So that's my first point, number 1. And select the text and increase the size of this number. So that's the first shape what I have. The next shape what I want to create is the text box which will come here with this one. So I'm going to insert and go to the shapes and select a rounded rectangle. And then I'm going to draw it in front of this. So I get this shape over here, and I'm going to change the color of this. We are working on PowerPoint. So this is the shape I've created. Here we can add the point over here. So we can add a text here that the type here we can add our text in this box. After this, the next part is the animation part. So I'm going to select my needle. That's the needle which I select. And then I want to rotate it. So we go to the animations. We go to the animations and we are going to select the emphasis animation where we have spin animation. So click on the spin. Before that, okay, before I add the spin, one more thing I require is, so let's first remove this animation. Before anything like spin I add, one more thing what I require is, when I do my slideshow, the first thing I require is to give an animation where these objects are going to appear, especially the arc and the needle objects are going to appear. So first I'm going to click on the needle. Now first I'll click on the shape, give the animation to it, and then I'll go to animations and give the simple animation as fade. So that's the first object which will come. And the next I'll click on the needle, and the second it should come as the needle. So I require it as a wipe animation, and I'll change the direction of this It's proper from bottom. I require that. And in the animation pane, I'm going to go and make it as after previous for both the animations and after previous. So I don't need to click, it will come automatically once I do the slideshow. The second thing what I require is I want to show the arc. So click on the arc and then apply the animation. So I'll give the wheel animation. And this is the wheel animation which will come. So I can give so many different options available that we can do it. So we'll keep it first only, the spokes one. And here also we are going to select as after previous. So this is done, the first part of it. The next part is we want to add one more animation, that is the spin animation. So that will come when I click onto my keyboard or I click on the mouse. That time the needle will move. So what I'm going to do here is first I select the needle. Then on the animation pane, I have a button called add animation. So we're going to click on add animation. And once you click on add animation, you will select spin, which is in the emphasis section. So click on spin. So now it is rotating, spinning entire 360-degree. What I require is to restrict itself to that first point which we have. So we are going to click on this group 9, what you see in the animation pane. Click there, select effect options. In the effect options, you will see this 360-degree clockwise. So when you click on the drop down, you will see custom field here. In that 360 is there. I'll just remove it and just I'll randomly type the degrees here. Let's say it's 45 degree. So type in 45 in this field. In this field, you're going to remove this and type 45. Once you type 45, press enter. If you don't press enter at this moment, this 45 what we have typed, it does not get saved. So we'll type the 45 here and just press enter. So then here also you will see 45-degree clockwise. Once this is done, just click OK. You will see that that needle has come. A little bit more we need to do. So let's make it. So we'll go to effect options, select this, and let's make this as 50. Click OK. Yes, so now it's come exactly in front of the point 1. So once the needle comes here in front of point 1, then I want this point 1 to appear. So I'm going to select that and then give the animation. So we are going to select it and click here, animations, and make it wipe. Or we can keep it as wipe is okay. Once wipe is done, and we change the direction as from left. And also we select the next one, which is this text box. And here also I give the wipe animation. And I'll change the direction as from left. Now in here for the oval and for this, we'll keep it as after previous. We'll keep it as after previous. Okay, now let's check this by going to our slideshow, that how this is working. So go to slideshow. You can see that arc and the needle has come automatically. Now when I click, then the needle will move. And then the point comes. So that's the first point which has come. We'll put on few more of them and we'll do that. So escape to come out of the slideshow. And what I'm going to do the next is I'm going to select this first point oval and press shift key and click on the shape as well. And then copy this. We then select both these objects. So click on the first object, then press shift key and click on the second object and then press Ctrl D. So it will create a copy of this. Press Ctrl D. You can see that copy is created. Just drag that and place it here down. Little bit of spacing will do that. And put this over here. Then one more time, I'm going to press Ctrl D. So one more point will be added. So we'll just add 3 of the points here. So we'll place it here. Okay, and I'm just going to change the numbers which are here. Make this 3 and this as 2. Once this is done, we are going to animate the needle. So we click back on the needle and then we click on add animation and we select spin. So here you will see that group 9, which is added here, that you are going to drag it and put above the oval here. Because once I click, then only it should move to the point 2. So that's why I'm dragging it above this and then click on this point and then go to effect options. And here we're going to change the degree and let's make it as 45. Enter, click OK. So once that is done, I'll click back on the needle one more time and then click on add animation, select spin. So one more group 9 animation will add it here. I just drag this and put it over this oval 17. Then go to effect options and select the drop down and we change this and put there also 45. Then we'll adjust it how much degrees up and down we have to do. So right now just standard 45 degrees we have put here. Okay, so I've just added all of the animations. Now I click on the slideshow to check how it is working. So first all the objects will come, the arc and the needle. The next part is the first click I'll do. So my first point comes, when it will stop there, it shows that's the first. When I click one more time, point 2 comes a little ahead the needle as 1, but that's fine. Third click, it's gone too far, but yes, we can adjust that. So that's how the needle animation will be there. So let's go back to this group 9. And we'll make this effect options. 45 is there. Let's make it 40. Click OK. And the last one, which is there, that also we go to effect options and we make this as 35 and click OK. Let's check the entire animation. first click, we get the point 1. Second click, I get the point 2. Third click, point 3. So perfectly getting the 3 points. Yes, so we have some question. So very simple process. I will explain the entire process. We wanted that to create a needle animation. Here, this is an interactive slide where I want to discuss on each point something with the audience. So, wherein to make the slide little interesting and little bit of entertaining, and the curiosity will be there for the participants when they are seeing this. So the needle, when it comes, the arc comes, they will feel something very interesting going to come up. So that's the part where audience feels good to see this kind of animation. Then we have created the arc. That's the first thing. We created the next part, which is your needle. And in the needle, what we have done is when we are creating that triangle, when we are creating the triangle, so I'll just do that here. So when I create an isosceles triangle, what happens is if I want to rotate this, any object will rotate from its center. So that base of the triangle which is there, it is also rotating with this. So to manage that base, the rotation which is there, what we are doing is we are just doing few steps here. We first remove the outline, that is we make it as no fill. Then we duplicate this triangle. So Control D to duplicate this. Then you rotate this triangle, the second copy, using flip vertical. Then you place it at the bottom. You place it at the bottom here. And then we will make the shape fill as no fill, so that becomes invisible. Then you press Shift key and click on the triangle. So both triangles are selected, and then we group it. So here in the shape format, you have the group option. So now it becomes one object. And since it is one object, now if you're going to rotate this, it will rotate it from its base. So it becomes very easy for the rotation part. The other part, the invisible triangle is there, that's not going to be seen at all. So that's why this is there. And then we have put the other objects, the oval shapes for the point numbers and the text which is there. So once this is done, we add animations to them. So we use the emphasis spin animation for the needle, and we put the degrees, and you can see here at every level you have the different animations. So very easy to work with the animations. So you select both of them, both the triangles, and then you have to go to shape format and you click on group option. So once you group it, both the triangle become one. Everyone's getting this, how we are able to work with the animation part. You have to select the object and then press the Shift key and then click on the another object. See what I do? I have selected the invisible. Then press the shift key and click on the second triangle. And then you're going to click on the shape format and then you click on group. So both becomes the same object, that is a group which is there. So this is how the needle is created for the rotation part. Everyone is getting this animation part. Now we are going to do the next type of animation which is there. That's also an interesting one. So that will do it. So we'll come and add a new slide. So I'll press Ctrl M to add a new slide. A new slide will be here. Here also this slide what we're going to create, that also it's like an interactive slide. When a presenter wants to interact with the audience, then you can utilize this option as well. So let's say while you are presenting at a moment where you want to take response from the audience, and then you want to reveal that response with your answer or your viewpoint, which is there on the slide. So you have thrown a question onto the audience and they are giving different answers to that. And once that discussion is over, you reveal your answer on the slide. And that is revealed only when you click on it, right? So we can do that, create it with the using animations with different shapes which are there. So let's create that. So what we are going to do here is we are going to select the shapes. So insert shapes, and here I'm going to select the rounded rectangle and draw it here exactly in my center of the slide. And in the rounded rectangle, you have a yellow dot at the top. And I'm going to use this yellow dot to change the shape of the corners. So I'll make it as an entire capsule kind of a shape. So you can see that both the sides are now round. I repeat, first you will go to insert, and in the insert you will see shapes, and you are going to select rounded rectangle. Draw this rectangle in the middle of the slide, and at the top you will see a yellow dot is there, which will help you to reshape the corners. So we are reshaping, drag it inside, and you will see that round shape has come on both the sides. So it's looked like a capsule. So we have put this here. And what we're going to do here is we're going to use the oval shapes here. So I'm going to click on the oval shape. So insert shapes and oval shapes. So on the rounded rectangle, I'm going to create oval shape, which will be small oval shapes. And just clicking on that, I'm going to first change the color. So let's change the color of this. And also we'll give an effect to this. We'll take it to bevel. And we'll type a number to this. Just change the color. And we'll type a number 1 on this. Selecting that text, and you can go to Home tab and increase the size of it. That's the second object what we have. The next objects we want is the text part where we can enter our answers what we want to reveal. So when I click on the shape button, that is 1, that time only that answer should be popped up. Otherwise it should not. So now we're going to insert a shape, insert shapes, and this time we are going to use the shape as callouts. So we have these callouts here. We'll select the callout and draw it here. You will see this callout will come. You can use this dot as well. If you want, you can point it out on this, that it is for this one only. You can change the color of this. So that's the first callout. It is related to this. If you want to add more callouts related to this, you can add that way also by just insert shapes, and you can select the callout from here in the shapes, and you can draw it here on this side as well. You can move this pointer this side also. So the second callout is there. We'll change the color of this. So that's there. Both the callouts represent this part of the first question which is there. So one part, if you want, you can put as question first callout, and the second callout is answer, or both of them you can keep it as the answer. Then we can just select all these 3 of them and copy it. But before that, what we also want to do is we want to give the animation. So when I give the animation to this, then I can just duplicate the entire thing, so that the entire animation is added automatically to the other parts of the entire process. So first step is the first shape which we added, the oval shape, the rounded rectangle that I want to display. And I'm going to click on the animations. In the animations, we are going to select the split option. And from the effects, I'm going to select the horizontal. So that comes there. That's the first animation we have added. And one more animation I want to add here is, so when one object has already one animation, so if you want to add multiple animation on the same object, you can click on add animation. So when you click on add animation, you can add multiple animations to it. So here I'm going to add the animation as object color. So it is going to change the color of that object. So just to make it a little more creative and entertaining on the screen, that's going to happen. And here in the animation pane, we'll go there and we'll come to the effect option. And here we have the timing. So in the timing, we have option here. First, we'll make it as after previous. And one more thing we want to do, that is this animation which is going to happen, that I want to make it repeat. So how many times it should be repeated until the end of the slide. So that will go on changing the colors which is there. So that we want to do. So that's why we've kept it accordingly. Now the next animation I want to do for this point, that is the oval shape. So we'll keep it as a simple one, fade. So that comes. So 2 animations. The next thing is when I click on this one, that is this button, this both the shapes which are there on the left and right, they should come and display themselves. There's no specific number as such, but yes, if on any particular object there would be a limitation to adding the animation, you can immediately see that prompt will come from the system itself that you cannot add more animations to this. But I believe that most of the times when you are adding animations to any object, it will be totally depending on what exactly you want to do with that object. And accordingly, you will add the number of animations. So you can add multiple animations. Currently, it will not show you any restrictions, but yes, if there is any restriction, it may immediately prompt you. So if you want to delete a text box in a slide, just select the text box and press delete key on the slide on your keyboard, and that text box may get deleted. Now I want to add the animations on click. So before I add animation, one more thing I also want to do here with my objects is I want to give the name to these objects. I want to give name to these objects. So what I'm going to do here is first I will go select this button which is there, and I'm going to click on the shape format, and I'm going to select the option called selection pane. In here you will see that it is showing oval 3, which I will rename it as button 1. That name is given to this. And then here I have this shape which is called speech bubble. So I want to give name to them as well. So I'm going to select it and give the name as let's say we give the name as B1, and the other one we give the name as B2. Simple to remember and understand it. So button 1 will be related to the B1 and B2. Now, how do we manage this? So I click on the B1 and then go to animations. After that, we click on the animation called vibe and change the effect option, that is the direction of it. So from left, I want to get that. And when the animation is applied, I also want that when I click on this button, then only this should come out. So here at the top, I have the option called trigger. Trigger is that on click, it will come out. So when I do trigger, it will show me that what you will select, on what you will click so that it should trigger. So I want that when I click on button 1, it should trigger. That means it should come out. Same thing we select on this one, and we click on animations and select vibe, and this direction will keep it from right, and we click on trigger, and on click we select button 1. So that is the animation what we have done. And we want to add one more animation on both of them, is that when I click back on one, it should disappear. So one more time, we'll click on this first shape B1 and then click on add animation. And here we go at the bottom, we select more exit. In the more exit, you will see there is wipe animation. So click on wipe. I will change the direction here. We will make it from right on this. And here also we will apply trigger. So click on trigger, on click, and button 1. Then we click back on this shape and click on add animation. And we go to exit animations, select wipe, and we make this, that is from left to right. And we also add a trigger to this. So click on trigger, click here and select button 1. So we added this, all animations what we required. Now we go back to the slideshow. So when I click, then only the shape will come. You can see that shape has come, and you can see that blinking of color is there. Now I see my button 1. Click on 1. Both of these come one by one because I've kept them on click. As I click 1, both will go inside. Escape to come out of this. So we have done this. Now a little bit of more changes required. So you can go to the animation pane and we can work on that as well. You can see this trigger button 1, how it is having both the triggers of entry and exit of the shapes which are there. So the red one is the exit one, the green one is the entry one. So this is how it is going to come. Now if I click on the B2, now here it is showing on click. I can make it that with previous. Here also I can select the second one and make it as with previous. And let's check this, what will happen now. Click and this will come, then click, the button will come, and now click here. You see both to come together. Click back, both will go together. Now this is done. The base thing is done. So that's what I'm shown, both come together. Now what I'm going to do is, now the next step, simple. I'm just going to click on my this button and then press shift key, click on the callouts. So all 3 objects are selected. Now press Ctrl D. So it gets duplicated, and just you can move it downwards. One more Ctrl D I will do. So I'll get one more copy of this. Then I can just rename this part as 2 and the second one as 3. Now we'll go back at the slideshow and see how this is working. So when I click one more, I see point 1, point 2 has come on one click, and point 3 has come. Now whenever I click on any of them buttons, you will see these callouts are coming out. Now whichever I want to close it, just click on it. You will see that will go in. Now only one thing I want to arrange here is that these 1, 2, 3 which were coming on click, they should come all together. So we can set that as well. So you can see this buttons here. When I click on this, you can see them here, and I can just click here on this part and say with previous. This also will make it as with previous. Let's check the slideshow. So I click, that first bar comes. When I click the second time, all three buttons come together. Now, whichever button I click, the call out is going to come both together. When I click back, it goes inside. So very easy to manage than the entire thing. Now, it becomes more creative way to interact with the participants when you are doing animation like this, and really makes it more interesting for all of them, for the audience and for the presenter as well. Now I do escape. So everyone clear on this animation, what we have done here? So we have seen the different animations. We have seen the basic animation, which is called the entrance animation. We have seen the emphasis animation. There are so many, you can try it all at different situations. We have seen the exit animation. Now the last one we are going to see is the motion path one. That's also a very interesting one. That also is like creating a path and making the object run on that path. So I'll add a new slide. And I'm going to add an object here. Let's go to insert and pictures. And let's go to online pictures. And let's select, find football. Let's select this one and insert. So we have this football here, and one more thing we'll do here is we just remove the background. So click on remove background. And click outside. So this is the ball which remains. A few more things are there. Remove. So now we have this only object. We will just also use crop to make the size smaller. So we have removed the background so that we can only see the object, which is the football. And I'm doing cropping so that my bounding box, which will come now, it would be smaller one. So I can manage this a little easy way. Simple football. And let's play with this football by using the animation. So I'm keeping it at the top of the site, the slide. And here I go to my animations. And from the animations, we select more motion paths. Select more motion paths. We'll get a box here. From this, I'm selecting bounce right. Selecting bounce right. And then click OK. And then you will see this a replica of the original image. And on the bottom side, the bounding box is there. I'll just stretch this till here. Okay, now let's see the slideshow. So this will allow the object to move or at a path in the slide. So once you are selecting this, you can manage this as well by using the effect option. In the effect options, you can see the bounce which is there. We can do this option as bounce end, and we can also make it little, it's medium, the speed is fine, and click OK. Let's see the slideshow. Click. So this is how that object can be used with the help of motion paths. Very easy to work with this. You can add as many as motion paths you want. You have so many motion paths. Let's add one more slide. And let's add one more object. Let's go to pictures, online pictures. Let's say car. So, okay, let's select this one. We can insert. So this is a small car image. I can just use this and put it here. And I want to use the motion path animation for the car. We go to the motion path, more motion paths, and you can choose any animation from this. So we select this. So that's the animation we can give by using all different kinds of motion paths which are there. So everyone, you can try these animations. You can ask me any questions related to animation if you have. So this is how we have seen how different types of animation can be used. The animation will help you to work and manage the slides where the objects you have, and you can build the creativity element and entertainment element with using the animation, and it will help you to enhance the entire presentation which you are working with. And you can control the objects which are there with the help of animations. So these are all different ways you can do it. We have seen the interactivity using the animations. Same way you can work with them to perform different kinds of presentation. Now let's look at some more options which are there, which will help us to see that what we can do with the PowerPoint application. So I'll add one more slide. And I'll add a text box. So insert, and you have a text box here. And you can type in the text here. Let's say we are typing mobile phone. So while you're typing here, let's say if you are making mistakes in your typing, as you do any mistakes in the text typing, you will see that you are going to see the red line which is going to come. So there is a dictate option as well, which you can use for typing. So on the home tab here, you have dictate. So you can click on dictate and it will start, listening to my voice as the dictate starts. So dictate, you can click. So I want to type the text here in the text box. So I've not set the recognition part here of my voice. So it's not picking up my text in the dictate option. So type text does not recognize my voice as such because I've not been using this dictate option. So if you want to, then first you need to set up all the voice recognition and all, and then we can use that dictate. Before that, we will see the other options which are there related to the text. So as I go on typing the text here, and if I'm making the mistakes, in my text, it is going to show me the red lines. Now, when I'm doing this typing of text, I need to correct the text. So in the review tab, you have the spell check option. In the review tab, you have the spell check option. So you click on that. And when you do that, it is going to go to each slide and it's going to ask you about the entire spelling which you want to do it. So here we just click on ignore all. So we will go to the next one. Now it has come to that slide where I have the text which is having the mistakes. Then it is going to suggest to me that, okay, which is the text you want to choose out of this, which is there, or you want to keep it as it is. If you want to keep it as it is, you can just select it as ignore once. But in these suggestions, you will see that there is no other variant out of which I can choose. So it will show me all those options which are there. So I can also do it manually if it is not showing in the suggestions the correct one. So I'll just put that mobile and the next one which is there. So as I do click on that, you will see it is showing me places, pieces, all different options. So places I want, so I can click on that and then click on change so that it will change that. Then Teveson, where it is showing me something more options which are there. So I can just select out of this, nothing is there which I want. So I can just retype my text. Once that is done, your spell check is complete. So still there is a mistake here. I can just click on here. You can see it is showing me television and click on change. So then here it will show you spell check complete. Click OK and that spell check is done. Now for any word which is selected, if you want to look at the thesaurus of it, you can click on the thesaurus button. And on the right side related to that, you will see the thesaurus is for that as well. Also in the search in the thesaurus, you can type in the words which are there and it will show you the thesaurus of those words as well. So as you will type and you will search it, you will get the thesaurus of that as well. It's a very useful option. You can see so many different values of thesaurus it shows. Also, if you want, you can use the translate option of that. So you have the translate, like we have Google Translate. Similar to that, you have Microsoft Translate. So right now both are English. If you want to change this to some other, you can do that. We also have the Indian languages like Hindi we have. So television, it shows Doordarshan. So if I want to insert it, I can click on insert. So that will come as the Doordarshan instead of television. There are also other options available. You can select that and see what different options are there. You can select the text and you can see here also the translation has shown me the options and I can click on insert and that will get added here. So very interesting option to work with. You can do that as well. You can also look for something inside the web. So if you select the text and click on search, then it will open the search option and then it will show you suggestions related to that. Links would be there. Once you click on this link, it may open up in the browser. So that also is a handy option. If you want to do something research on some particular words, you can directly see it here itself inside the PowerPoint also. So these are very few options, very handy options to work with. If there are mistakes in your site, in your slides which are there, you can rectify it. Like spell check is the option for spell check. There is another option which is called check accessibility. That is a standard check option which can be done by using check accessibility. It will suggest you the options. So it will check up all the slides at once and you will see it is showing on the right side errors. So it is saying missing alternative text, table has no headers. So these are the slides. It does not have the headers for their tables. So what are those? It will, as you select it, it will show you that all mistakes which are there. Missing slide title. There are so many slides which does not have the slide title. So all these slides does not have any slide title. So it will show you that. Warnings, hard to read text. So there are slides which have very tiny text. So that's why it is telling that hard to read text. So all these things are there which can be used, but not every time it would give you the correct suggestions. So you can check on your own that how this can be managed. So very interesting options. All these options which we have seen today, we have done so many things. Try and practice it so that you will learn more and more and you will remember it. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time. and we'll learn more things. So keep on practicing. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.